What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be building this awesome chicken coop. Now this is big enough for about 12 chickens. It has 4 nesting boxes, a couple of roosting rails, and a 6-foot run. Oh, don't forget that arched doorway there on the front. Let's get to the build. To frame out the base for this chicken coop, I'm going with pressure treated 2x4s. With everything in position, I run 2 nails into the end of each joist. Then I measure across the corners to make sure it's square and finish securing the base. I decided to add some extra 2x4s to the base so that way the corners are mitered, they're nice and clean, and this also keeps me from having to use pressure treated plywood. You'll see why later. Now in this video, I'm not going to really dive into the dimensions and details. If you want to build a chicken coop like the one you see here, be sure to check out the plans that I have linked below in the description. The walls are assembled the same way that the base is. I just shoot 2 nails into the end of each stud from the top plate and the base plate. Here I'm framing out for the opening that will accept the nesting boxes for this chicken coop. This wall will eventually have the entry door installed in it, and as you see, the base plate is not one continuous piece across the bottom. So to make these 2 surfaces coplanar, I used a scrap 2x4. I clamped it to the bottom of each base plate and then went about framing out the rest of this wall. Now you can go ahead and sheathe the end walls as I'm doing here if you'd like, or you can wait until they are all assembled onto the base. With the excess cut off from the jigsaw, I switch over to my router and flush cut all of the sheathing with the frame. So here I'm sheathing the base. As you can see, I'm making sure to drive those nails into the joist and the rim joist of the base. I use 7/16 inch plywood here because honestly chickens really aren't that heavy. So here I'm attaching the walls to the base by shooting a handful of nails through each base plate into the joist and rim joist. Also, I'm securing each wall to one another by shooting nails through the studs at the end of each wall. Here I'm installing blocking that the roosting rails will be attached to. And then these are the roosting rails that are sitting on that blocking at the back and front walls. Okay, so here I'm building a very simple door for the entry into the chicken coop. As you see, I'm going with pocket hole construction here for this door frame. It is because it is quick, it is easy, and it is plenty strong for an entry door to a chicken coop. To attach the sheathing to the door frame, I'm using 1 1/4 inch exterior grade screws. And here again I'm using the router to flush cut the sheathing with the frame. To draw the arch at the top of the door, I use a simple string and pencil method. After I cut the profile as close as possible with the jigsaw, I clean it up with my handheld belt sander. If you're enjoying this video so far, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and hey, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that too. Thanks. To build the nesting box for this coop, I start by making each one of the ends. Then I'm going to move on to adding the bottom, front, top, and inside dividers. I'll finish off by attaching the lid with a couple of hinges and securing it with a hook and eye latch. Alright, so here's the moment of truth. Excellent. Now I'm going to move on to sheathing the rest of the coop. Even though I have a full-size table saw in my shop, I still really like having the Craig plunge saw for cuts like this. And once again, I'm back with the router to flush cut the sheathing with the frame. With the door opening cut, it's time to install the hinges. For this project, we went with a simple gate latch, which is quick and easy to install, but you can potentially lock yourself inside the coop, so, be mindful of that. Alright, so here I'm sheathing the last wall, and I am rough cutting again with the jigsaw to make the opening for the nesting box. I didn't get a shot of actually attaching the nesting box to this wall, but all I did was shoot nails from inside the nesting box into those framing 2x4s. Now I don't cover all of this process in the video, but here I'm cutting a window for cross breeze inside the coop. To make the roof for this chicken coop, I opted to essentially make a panel for the left and right hand side. As you see, I'm using pocket hole construction again, and then what I'm doing here is I'm cutting an angle so that when each panel comes together on the chicken coop, I have a nice clean mitered seam. With one panel sheathed, it's time to lay down some tar paper. Here I'm using 1 1/4 inch galvanized nails into 30-pound felt paper. Now this was my first time sheathing a roof, so I did a couple of things in the incorrect order. You're supposed to put down the drip guard first and then put the felt paper over top of that. Now I just lay down the shingles per the manufacturer's instructions, and then I will attach each one of these panels to the coop. Alright, so here we are at delivery day. To build the run, I didn't cover that because it's super easy and is well documented in the plans. To get the coop actually off of the trailer, we used a come along that was anchored to a tree and just made it come along. Alright, well that's going to wrap us up for the day. I hope you enjoyed the video, and hey, thanks for watching. Now, if you want to build a coop like this for yourself, make sure to check out the plans that I have linked below. Oh, you're still there. Awesome. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, I got another one queued up for you right here. And if you want other awesome content from me, check out those. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe, and until next time, have fun making something.